NASA and Roscosmos have worked together for many years. How important is the relationship between the two organizations?
Historically, it's always been a very important relationship. If you look back in time, space has really been an area for collaboration, whatever's been happening on planet Earth. Yes, we had the space race back in the Kennedy days, where the Americans were trying to get to the moon first and famously did it ahead of the Russians, even though the Russians were ahead in the space race game, if you look back in the 1960s. But since then, it has been more a question about collaboration, irrespective of Earth politics. Hence why we have the International Space Station, where, for instance, the Russians are supplying the thrusters to the ISS. The Canadian has a big arm on there, and everybody's sort of contributing, whether it's the Europeans via ESA or NASA with the Americans or the Japanese. In fact, it has truly been an international collaboration. But things started to change a bit after the Ukrainian invasion, where it seems like Earth politics were starting to hit space, and we saw the Russians going increasingly independent, and the Americans doing that way. So today is actually a quite interesting coming back together moment in space, at a very interesting time on Earth politics, because as we see, Trump is getting increasingly frustrated with Putin and Russia for their continued actions in Ukraine, and yet here we have in space. It seems like we can still collaborate, and we have the meeting of the two heads. So it's quite significant, actually, in political terms, and certainly also in space terms.